morning, Shirley.
Sorry I'm late, Horace.
Oh, that's all right. I won't tell your father.
Thank you, Horace.
Oh, Mrs. Miller was in to talk to you about her statement again.
Oh, that Mrs. Miller. She's always worried about her bank balance.
Well, I told her it's okay. Not to worry about a thing.
Thanks again, Horace. But that really wasn't necessary.
No, I just, I like to help.
You're sweet, Horace. Oh, good morning, Mrs. Arnold.
I should be finished the bank by the time you finish loading.
Are you in a big hurry to get back to the ranch?
No?
Oh, well, I'll just tag along with you then. I've got some business at the bank.
Fascinating world, the world of finance, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm glad you're taking such interest, Joseph.
What would you say if I told you I was planning to make a long-term investment?
I think that'd be fine, Joseph. Just fine.
Sally, for the third time this week, now this is a bank. Now, banks do not make mistakes. Will you add these figures again? And this time, try and do it right.
Oh, dear. Don't tell me I made a mistake again.
Yes, you made a mistake again. Sally, don't you ever think...
Excuse me, Mr. Bristol. I want to explain about...
Later, Horace. Now, add it. Would you add those
Oh,
figures?
you see, it wasn't her fault here. I added that.
Well, all I can say is that you are a remarkable young man, Horace. Not only do you add incorrectly, but you managed to do it in Sally's handwriting.
Oh, Horace. Why did you say that?
I just don't like to hear anyone talk to you that way. Not even your father.
But you don't have to protect me. I mean, Daddy growls a lot, but he very rarely bites.
Well, I still don't like to hear anyone talking to you that way. Sally?
Mm-hmm.
I've been meaning to ask you about the dance tonight. I'd like to know...
Oh, yes, Horace, you were saying?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Bristol?
Oh, little Joe. Ben?
George?
I've been expecting you.
My son has some business at the bank, too.
Oh, well, lately he's turned out to be our best customer. Seems I see him every time I look up. Any particular teller you want to see, little Joe?
Oh, Father.
Dinner at our house and then go to the dance. Maybe we'll have a little surprise for them.
From the looks on their faces just now, I feel they already know.
Yeah, but not about the ring.
Oh, Joe, it came.
Yeah. Yesterday from San Francisco.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Not as beautiful as you are.
Oh, Joe, not here. Daddy might see.
That's all right. I want the whole world to see. I don't want to rush you, Mr. Bristol, but we'd kind of like to get to the dance in time to hear the fiddles tune up.
Ah, the impatience of youth.
Oh, it isn't that at all. I told Joe I wanted us to be the first ones there. I want everybody to see my ring.
You better watch it, young man. She's starting to give you orders already.
The thing that worries me is I don't seem to mind it.
I want you to know that I would be happy to have you as a son-in-law.
Thank you, sir.
Come in.
Oh, it's time to get ready, Horace. The dance will be starting before long.
Yes, I know.
I brought you a little present. I couldn't help but notice that your shirts were frayed. This is one my Jimmy bought and never did wear. It'll fit you just fine.
Well, thank you.
Oh, no thanks necessary. Well, it isn't hard to figure out what girl you're going to ask to the dance. Squiring the prettiest girl in town, you want to look your best.
I didn't ask anyone.
What? Work right next to Sally every day at the bank and you didn't even ask her?
No. I don't think I want to go.
Oh, now, Horace, I won't listen to this kind of talk. You are too going. Oh. My Jimmy was shy, too. Of course, not for the same reasons you have. Losing your parents before you hardly knew them.
Please, Mrs.
Oh,
Cutler.
my Jimmy. Just thinking about talking to a girl would make him swallow his tongue and turn beet red. But he got over it. Before the diphtheria hit him, why, he could just walk right up to anybody and just any time and talk to them. Bold as a brass band. You can too, Horace, if you try.
Thanks for the shirt. Fun?
Oh, Joe, I've never been so happy in all my life.
Oh, thinks he having himself a time.
Oh, he sure does. Look at him now.
I'm sorry, friend. I'm real sorry. You know? You all let me help you with that, huh?
All right.
God, sorry. Okay? Hey! What happened to the music?
Let me get you some punch?
Yes, please.
I'll be right back. Hey, Cliff, what happened? You lose your partner?
Ain't it something? I just can't understand it.
I can't either, Cliff.
Sally Bristol. I declare. Hey, what you doing? Sitting all here by your lonesome, huh?
Joe went to get me some punch.
Sally, you don't want to just sit here and wait, huh? Now you can dance and wait. Come on, Miss Sally. Let's go. Huh?
Now, Cliff, Rudy, stop your fooling.
Oh, come on. Little Joe, he ain't gonna mind, huh?
Leave her alone.
Hey, hold on there a minute, old friend. Come on, Miss Sally, dance with me. All right, Joe. All right, hey, this fellow's gone plumb loco.
All right,
All
all right,
Miss
forget
Sally.
it. Just forget it. Go on, have a good time. Go on, please.
Sure, Joe. I'm sorry, Miss Sally. I didn't mean no harm or nothing.
That's all right.
Oh, Horace, you silly. Why did you do that?
Hey, you really didn't mean anything by it, Horace.
whiskeys and a beer.
Right.
May I buy you a drink?
I want a brandy.
Ain't got no brandy.
Can I buy you a drink, please?
Hey, there ain't no brandy. Okay, make 3 whiskeys.
I just want to talk to you, that's all.
There you are.
She didn't even hear me. I wanted to buy a drink.
Oh, sure. Coming right up.
And not for me, her.
What are you talking about?
I wanted to buy her a drink. And she wouldn't even listen. She wouldn't pay any attention.
Well, that's her choice, mister. If she doesn't want to drink with you, that's the way it's going to be. Now, are you going to pay for that drink?
Yeah, I'm going to drink this one, too. Well, give me another one. There you go.
Hey, you know, it's nice out here.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, have I told you lately that I love you?
103 times. But don't stop now.
Oh, I'm never gonna stop.
Joe, that's Horace. He's sick or hurt.
No, I don't think so. Hey, Horace, looks like you're having a pretty rough night.
Oh, Horace, look at you. Horace, I'm ashamed of you. I never thought I'd see you in that condition.
Yeah, come on, Horace, let me give you a hand. Yeah, I'll help you home.
You keep away from me!
Horace!
Horace,
I didn't mean to wake you. I'm sorry.
you don't have to apologize to me, Horace.
No, not to you. Sally, I gotta apologize to Sally.
Well, whatever it is, it can wait until morning.
Yeah. I gotta apologize to Sally.
Yes, that's right. You go right on up to bed, Horace. Oh, my goodness. Oh.
Joe, what got into him?
Look, will you forget about him?
But I've never seen him act like that before. He was almost like an animal.
Well, he's not used to being drunk, that's all. Not used to having you see him in that condition.
But why should he care what I think?
Because he's in love with you, that's why.
Oh, Joe, not Horace.
Well, of course he is. Why do you think he came to your defense at the dance? Why do you think he's always looking at you the way he does?
But I've never done anything to encourage him.
I know you haven't. Now forget about him. He'll sober up and he'll be all right tomorrow. Besides, I can't blame him for falling in love with you. I fell in love with you, didn't I?
Sally, I want to apologize. I wouldn't hurt you for the world. I wouldn't hurt you. I wouldn't hurt you. At all. I apologize.
Yes, who is it?
It's me. Horace. Please, Sally, I have to see you.
You shouldn't be here, Horace. What would Daddy say?
I want to apologize. Sally, I wouldn't embarrass you for anything.
Oh, Horace.
No, if you just knew how I feel. Every day and every minute is a...
I don't want to hear it, Horace. Don't say another word. Just go home.
You must know how I feel, because at the bank you're standing so close to me every day. And the way you look at me.
Horace, I was just being friendly. It never meant any more than that.
I love you, Sally. I have from the very first minute.
Go home, or I'll call Daddy.
Now, see, I can talk to you now. For the first time. And I know what I want to say. And you gotta listen to me. Shh!
Sally? What's going on down there?
Horace, I'll scream.
No, don't scream. Don't. Oh, please, don't. Don't.
Sally? Sally! Joe, what are you doing here this time of night?
Where is everybody? Who's minding the store?
I went for some coffee. You got any objections?
No, I don't have any objections, but what happens if somebody walks in, steals the place while you're gone? Where's Roy?
You went to Carson City.
Carson City, my pa's best friend, and he's gone when I need him the most.
What's the matter? You rob a bank or something?
No, I didn't rob a bank. I'm getting married. I wanted to invite Roy to the wedding.
Well, I guess it won't hurt you to wait a couple days, will it?
Mr. Bristol, what's the matter?
Clem, she's dead.
What are you talking about, Mr. Bristol?
My Sally. She's dead.
You have this, Mr. Bristol. Good, strong cup of tea.
Who'd do a thing like this?
We'll find who did it, Mr. Bristol. We'll find him. Joe, listen to me. Are you sure you've told us everything? Look, Joe, I don't like doing this to you. I'm just trying to narrow it down. The time element clears you. When Mr. Bristol found Sally, you were in the office talking to me. I just want to know if you can help in any way. I'm sorry. There'll be time for this tomorrow. I'll be leaving now, Mr. Bristol. You'd better get some rest.
Clem, who'd do a thing like this?
We'll find him. You get some rest.
He's right, Mr. Bristol. Here, now you drink this tea, and then you try to get some rest. And just you remember, I'm right across the street if you need anything. Anything.
You're very kind.
I think it's best if he's just left alone for a while. Oh, I just can't believe it. I just can't. Lovely girl like that. Oh, I'm afraid of what this is going to do to Horace. Working with her the way he did. He was so fond of her. And she was so kind to him. Oh, poor Horace.
Good night, Mr. Bristol. Joe.
Horace. He just might.
Joe.
Well, want to talk to Horace.
But he's fast asleep upstairs.
Joe, what's this all about?
Now, wait just a minute.
Horace. Horace, come on, wake up.
What?
Wake up.
What?
Sally is dead.
What are you talking about?
Sally is dead. Do you know anything about it?
No, of course he doesn't.
Joe, what are you getting at?
He was on the street tonight. He might know something.
I didn't do anything, did I? Huh?
What do you mean you didn't do anything? Well, don't you know, Horace? Were you too drunk to know?
I'm not used to drinking that much. I didn't even take off my clothes.
Horace, listen.
I won't have you persecuting this boy this way.
Look, I'm not persecuting him. I'm trying to get some answers.
Now, you just slow down.
You're just imagining things. Well, Horace was right here in this room when this terrible thing happened. I talked to him when he came in.
He could have gone out again.
He couldn't have without me hearing him.
You heard what Mrs. Cutler said. Horace couldn't have had anything to do with it. He was right here all the time. You come with me.
How could they even think you could do such a terrible thing?
No, I'd never hurt my Sally.
Of course you wouldn't.
No.
I still can't believe it, Ben. Even now, I can't believe it.
I know. Something we could do to help. How would you like to come out to the ranch for a couple of days?
Thanks, Ben. Joe, this was her Bible. She'd want you to have it.
I'm fine. Just fine.
May I come in for a moment?
Yes.
Horace, you can't just lock yourself up like this. Oh, I know how you feel.
Well, those people down there, they keep looking at me. They keep watching this window.
Poor boy, you poor, poor boy. What they're putting you through.
Why do they think I killed her?
Well, don't pay any attention to them. They can't hurt you. You know you're innocent, and so do I.
Dinner get all cold. Little Joe not come in yet?
You keep something warm for him, Sing. I'll talk to him.
All right, Mr. Ben. Hop Sing feel very sorry for little Joe.
I wish there was something we could do.
I think it's been done. Fellas questioned half the people in town. Taken depositions from Horace and Mrs. Cutler. She backs him to the hilt.
It's like he's in a daze, a constant hammering. There's just some way we could reach him.
I know. Joe, come on in the house, huh? Got Hop Sing keeping some warm food for you.
I don't want anything, Buck.
Joe, I just can't stand by and watch you tear yourself apart this way.
He knows something, Beau. I'm sure he does. Maybe he even killed her himself.
Joseph, you mustn't say anything like that. You mustn't. Mrs. Cutler swore an affidavit that he was in his room.
She could have been wrong. She could have been asleep. It was late.
What reason would Horace have had to do such a thing?
I don't know. I don't know, but you didn't see him that night. It's just the way I feel.
The way you feel? You accuse him of... because of the way you feel? You realize that if you weren't in the sheriff's office when this thing happened, you might have been a suspect yourself? You'd have been accused yourself of this thing? On the same kind of circumstantial evidence that you're trying to build up against Horace? Joseph, that's why we have laws. The law says a man is innocent until he's proven guilty beyond the shadow of a doubt. That's what justice is about. Son, I know the feeling of grief. The loss of someone you love. I know it very well. You'll come on in the house and have something to eat. You have to have food.
No, Pa. I don't have to have food.
Did you do any good?
No, I couldn't get through. Not the mood he's in. Go! Joseph! Get my things up. Saddle the horses.
Is guilty. What are we waiting for?
Break this thing up or I'm gonna start shooting. Now, you listen to me. What proof have you got?
You got that telegram, didn't you? You gonna deny that? I saw it with my own eyes. You know what that telegram said? Horace Perkins, he was picked up for the murder of a girl over in Mason City. That's a lie! That's a lie!
He was picked up along with a dozen others, and he was turned loose.
Yeah, and you've turned him loose again. Hey, Joe! We're with you, Joe. We got the evidence we need. Horace was picked up over a year ago for killing a girl over in Mason City.
What's he talking about, Clem?
Horace was picked up all right back in Mason City, but there wasn't a shred of evidence to hold him on. He was questioned, Joe, that's all. Just like I questioned you. You're gonna lynch a man for that?
Clem's right, Cliff. This isn't doing anybody any good.
Joe, We all know how you felt about Sally. We're just trying to help you.
I know you are, Cliff, and thanks. Best way you can help me now is to go home. Look, all of you, I know how you feel. I'm the one who's most concerned, and I'm asking you to go on home. Please.
Looks like we took a long ride for nothing, don't it, Beau?
Sure does. I don't know why we were so worried. Well, we got work to do.
That was a good job you did. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, well, don't be too proud of me, Clem. I just didn't want to see him get lynched, that's all. That way there'd always be a doubt. As soon as I know Horace is the one for sure, I'll see he gets what's coming to him. Going somewhere, Horace? I'm talking to you, Horace. Bedroll, clothes. Looks like you're running out. This the way you left Mason City?
That's none of your business.
When I stopped Cliff and his friends, I made it my business, Horace. You're not gonna run out on me. I said you're not running out. We're gonna go down and talk to the deputy. You got some explaining to do. Sam, take his horse.
Sure.
You still trying to do my job for me, Joe?
He was leaving town.
What about it? I can't hold a man with an ironclad alibi.
You mean you're just gonna let him leave?
That's right. He asked me, and I told him he could go on back to Mason City. Go on, Horace. Scared bank clerk. Doesn't look like any killer I ever saw.
How many times do I have to tell you that scared bank clerk acted like a madman the night Sally was killed?
I know you've told me, but nobody else saw it.
No, just so.
Look, Joe, I'm doing every single thing I can. I've questioned half the people in this town, and sooner or later I'll find out who did it.
It's the second time you did that, Horace.
Where did you come from?
I've been right behind you, Horace. I wasn't gonna follow you at first. Until you made that wrong turn at Twin Forks.
It's none of your business where I go.
But you said you were going to Mason City, Horace. Mason City's in the opposite direction. How come you changed your mind?
I told you, it's none of your business.
You're not afraid to go to Mason City, are you?
I just changed my mind, that's all.
Yeah, but why? Why'd you change your mind, Horace? You didn't kill that girl in Mason City, did you? I mean, you were one of the suspects. Ever find the man who killed that girl?
How should I know?
Just thought you might know, that's all. It's funny. Girl's killed in Mason City. Sheriff questions you, lets you go, and you leave town. And Sally's killed, and Clem questions you and lets you go. And here you are on the road again. Kind of begins to make a picture, doesn't it?
Now, why don't you leave me alone?
Yeah, I guess you'd like me to leave you alone, wouldn't you? All right, I'll do it. I'll leave you alone. On one condition. You and I ride to Mason City. If they found the man that killed that girl, I'll let you go on your way. But if they haven't found her, I'll stay with you, Horace. No matter how far you go, no matter how long it takes, I'll be right behind you. Until you tell me you killed Sally. So you better get used to having me around, Horace.
Oh, why did you leave me alone?
Little Joe, what are you doing here?
I want you to give Horace a message for me.
Horace? He isn't here.
You just tell him I'm still right behind him. You tell him nothing's changed.
How can I give Horace a message? I tell you, he isn't here. He went to Mason City 5 days ago. Everyone knows that.
He's not in Mason City, Mrs. Cutler. He's right here in your house.
He is not. Joe Cartwright, now wait just a minute here. Manners of some people. told you he wasn't here.
Unlock the door.
Well, it isn't locked. It can't be. All right, now stop that. Have you gone out of your senses? Horace, you came home. I didn't know you were here.
Don't let him near me. He's been hounding me every minute.
Hounding an innocent boy, smashing up my house. What's the matter with you?
It looks like you made a mistake, Mrs. Cutler.
A mistake? I don't even know what you're talking about.
You didn't hear him come in. Maybe you didn't hear him the night Sally was killed.
Horace didn't leave the house that night. I know he didn't. He was right here in this room.
You were wrong just now. You could have been wrong then.
I know Horace as well as I knew my own son. He's the last person in the world who would want to harm Sally. No, no, I won't let you touch him. I won't let you. No!
Come on, Horace. There's no more running. Come on, sit in the chair.
Horace, did he hurt you? Now, for the last time, will you leave him alone?
We were talking about mistakes, Mrs. Cutler.
There wasn't any mistake.
You're
He
sure?
was in his room.
You're sure
I'm
of that?
sure, yes, I'm sure.
Well, what about just now? You didn't even know he was in the house. Now, why are you trying so hard to protect him? Why?
Because he has no one else. No one else in all the world. He came here, hurt and alone, and I gave him what he needed, a mother's love. But you wouldn't understand that, would you, Joe Cartwright? You've always had more love than you needed. Your pa and your brothers. You wouldn't know what it's like to be alone and hurt. But I know what it's like. Just like Horace does. I've lived with it day after day, week after week, ever since my Jimmy died.
I knew your son, Mrs. Cutler. And Horace is nothing like him.
Yes, he is. He's the same age. He's the same sweet, shy kind of boy that my Jimmy was. My Jimmy was always shy with girls, just the way Horace is. Sally was the only girl that Horace ever had, and you took even that away
Come
from
on, Mrs.
him.
Cutler, Sally was never his girl. You know it, and so does Horace.
She would have been if you didn't get in the way. Sally liked me. And she liked me very much.
She could never like anybody like you, Horace.
Yes, she did. She did.
You ever take a look at yourself in the mirror, Horace?
Now, wait,
Did you ever take a look at yourself? Go on, look in the mirror, Horace. You're funny, Horace. Remember that night? Oh, you were funny that night. When you came stumbling down the street, falling in the dirt. Yes, Sally thought you looked real funny.
No, stop it, stop it.
And how about at the dance? And what a fool you made of yourself at the dance. Yeah, if I hadn't stopped Cliff, he would have broken you in two. You know, Sally and I laughed about that.
Stop it! Stop
Stay
it.
out of this!
Stop torturing
I told you to
him.
stay out!
Stop
Sally
it!
and I laughed at you a lot, Horace.
No! No!
Take a look at him now, Mrs. Cutler. Is that your son? Is that your Jimmy? No! Like you killed Sally?
I didn't mean to do it! She was gonna scream.
Mistake. It was a mistake. It was a
It was a mistake.
I don't believe it. I didn't want to believe it. I thought he was like my Jimmy.
Don't leave me. I need you. Please.
I understand, Horace. I'll be near. And I'll help you.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Cutler. Let's go to the sheriff.
Horace. A quiet boy like that. Who knows what goes on in a man's mind?
How true. George, that offer for you to come out to the ranch and stay with us a while still stands.
Thanks, Ben. Joe.
When I first found out Horace was the one, I wanted to kill him. Now all I can feel for him is pity.